Readers, today we're going to focus on crafting well-written statements of the central ideas of a text. To do that, we're going to try and make a one-sentence summary of all of the important meaning in the text. And what we're really going to work on is making a sentence that makes sense and still just crams in the important academic and domain-specific vocabulary and the important who, what, where, why, when, how of the article. We're still working with the article entitled "For the World's Poor, Drinking Water Can Kill." And you'll remember that this is an article that first sets out a problem about the lack of clean drinking water, and then the solution, what people were doing to address that problem. Okay, I assume you've read the text closely, you've annotated, you've defined your domain-specific vocabulary, you've answered some multiple choice questions, and now you're down here at step 4. How do I determine the central idea of the text? You've gone back and looked at the title and text features. You've looked for how the chunks relate to one another. You've looked for patterns of repeated words and phrases. If you'd like to see any of this modeled more specifically with this article, please go look at the videos prior to this one and go through each of these steps in more detail. Now we're down on the summarizing step, and you've filled in the who, what, where, why, when, how. You've noted a couple things. One is that there's lots of answers that can go on any one line. For example, in the who, there's people in poor countries, there's people in Africa, there's children, there's someone named Petronella, someone named Dick Greenlee, Water4, and other organizations. We've crossed off Petronella and Dick Greenlee because they are very specific people who are designed or given to you by the author to put a face on a problem. Petronella herself, this article's not about her. She's not important except that she's an example of the kind of person that's affected by this problem. And so we're not going to talk about her, we're just going to talk about people like her. And the way people are like her in important ways here are they're people in poor countries, okay, or they're the mothers of children who are getting sick. Okay, we also notice that some of these can rotate around depending on what you define as the what, the how, and the why may switch around, and it doesn't matter if you say what they're doing is training people to build wells, or if you say what they're doing is trying to provide access to clean water, and how they're doing it is by training people to build wells. As long as you get all that information in there, you're fine. What we're going to do next is we're going to make a so what. Shouldn't have put it on there already. And what I'm seeing very often from you is that the so what is very short. And so you might say, like, people are dying from bad water. Okay, that's true. That's an approaching standard central idea because it is something that's true of the text, but it's not a big enough idea. It doesn't capture enough of the key information. So let's improve it. We've got a lot of details here and in here from steps 1 through 4. Let's beef this up. So the so what, let's start first with people. Who are the people? Well, it's people in poor countries. And it's children. So I could say people in poor countries, including children, are dying from bad water. Okay. Let's be more specific. What's happening? Yes, they're dying. Let's add more. Are getting sick and dying. And it is from bad water, but really it's from diarrheal disease. We don't have that in there. They're sick and dying from diarrheal disease because they drink polluted water. And I'm using polluted instead of bad because it's one of our academic vocabulary words. I want to get that in there. So I've got diarrheal disease, I've got polluted water. Those are both academic vocabulary. I think I've got most of the information. Well, the where, I said in poor countries, but I didn't say this is worldwide. So where could I stick that? I could say people in poor countries, including children, are getting sick and dying from diarrheal disease because they drink polluted water worldwide. No, that's weird. How about this? How about worldwide? People in poor countries, including children, are getting sick and dying from diarrheal disease because they drink polluted water. Because they only have access to polluted water. Because I could say, or they lack access to clean water. I think I'm just going to go back to because they drink polluted water, or because their water is polluted. Here's what I'm doing. I'm trying a lot of different options, trying to find the one that sounds the best and sounds smoothest. It just takes a lot of trial and error to get the right combination. When you do, copy it into your central idea statement and then do the similar thing for the solution. I could get access to clean water and wells and training people and these organizations into another central idea statement. I might start with this. Organizations like Water4 are training people to drill wells. And then I might say, wait, I could add more to that. Where are these people? We don't have that. I could say are training people in poor countries to drill wells. I haven't said why. So people have access to clean water, or to clean drinking water. Instead of saying worldwide, I could use worldwide, but I could say organizations like Water4 are training people in poor countries around the world to drill wells so people have access to clean drinking water. Okay, I think I'm done. And I hope you'll give me an ES. I think we've earned it.